of 750 religious communities in 12th century England. These monasteries controlled 15% of the land, and all for men and women to come and dedicate their lives to God.
We must live without furs, linen, shirts, combs, mattresses. But we must, of course, have farms and meadows to grow food. Otherwise we couldn't entertain guests, and one must be hospitable. But let us not grow rich, no. As Jesus Christ was poor, so we will be poor, and give up the riches of the world.
What made someone become a monk or a nun? The only surviving life story of a nun in the 12th century is that of Christina of Marquiate.
I was 13 and my parents had taken me to the monastery of St. Alban. His bones were kept there. You could pray to them and ask his blessing. And I remember how the monks seemed so perfect, so content. I wanted to join them. And as I left, I scratched the sign of a cross in a door with my fingernail, that I should return there one day and take my vows. I'd lost all interest in the world. I wanted to be pure.
Women joined the nunneries for many different reasons. They could prove themselves there. They could study. If they reached the rank of abbess or prioress, they could experience real power denied them in so many other walks of life. For some, the nunneries were simply an escape.
My parents were preparing my wedding. I said, I don't want to get married. They just laughed. They tried to tempt me, wouldn't let me go to church, took me to banquets to get me drunk, hoping at last I'd take the pleasures of the world. But I was obstinate. And then they locked me in my bridal chamber. And they'd found this husband for me. And they egged him on. Call yourself a man, go on, you can talk her round. And he came into the room, and I was hiding behind a tapestry. After he left, I climbed out the window. It was as if I had escaped some devil with blackened teeth that made to seize me.
The priory that Christina founded at Marquiate was small in comparison to Fountains. At its height, there were 200 monks here, and life in their separate world was Christian worship at its most perfect.
The first thing that strikes you is how quiet it is. Shh. Vow of silence. The second thing, the white of their habits. Dyes are a luxury, so they wear cloth of undyed sheep's wool. They count honours and riches as dung. They're an example to us all, like the fist of God battering in our faces. Good food means nothing. Strong drink won't touch it. Pleasures of the flesh. Whew. Women aren't even allowed past their gates. No women, no hawks, no dogs.
Daily routine followed a strict timetable of work, prayer, and study. 8 times a day, the monks were called into the abbey church to hear the Mass or to sing psalms in praise of the Lord.
The first service is 2 in the morning. What a sorry sight. They're all fighting to stay awake, hoping no one will notice if they slump back and rest a while, catch 40 winks.
Beyond the abbey church lay the hospital, the kitchens, the workshops. For 5 hours a day, the monks labored at household chores, or in the fields, or in the scriptorium, where in the days before the printing press, monks would write books by hand. The monasteries became great centers of learning, and the manuscripts the monks produced remain amongst the highest achievements of medieval art.
You only need 3 fingers to write, but your whole body's working. Anyone who says it's easy's never tried it. And in midwinter, when you're numb with cold...
Once every day, the monks would gather in the chapter house. Here would be read out the rules of the order, a chapter a day, and lapses in discipline would be dealt with.
One of the younger brothers gives the punishment, a strong arm to swing the cane.